Bazanek. Trying to find a way through, doesn't. Gilbane has to be careful. Simonson this time. It's no mistake with the clearance. It's Cartwright. To Johnson, who's onside. Finds Dominikovic, just can't bring it down. And Starner does really well to hinch the ball back for Manly. Hart still. It's the Tigers that push forward. They get the throw. 15 minutes to go here now. This game deserves a third goal. Dominikovic brings it down well, looking for options. Gets it through Mortlock. Tries to ride the challenge, but Burton steps up really well. And now Zordon looks to counter and plays it through to the new player on. Wonderful run here from Ruby Vernon down the touchline. Stumbles a little bit to find Manette, who steals a yard. Emily Manette, this would be wonderful from the striker. Falls kindly here to Zordon. They can't choose who has the shot. Zordon tries to find a pass back through, but can't do so, but does win the corner for Manly. Nobody in a Manly shirt wanted to actually take the shot when it came to them. Manette did wonderfully, just couldn't get the ball out of her feet to get a shot away. Burton gets a near post, there's a chance! Oh, and Manette almost bundled it in, but it fell so kindly for Anna Norton in goals. And I tell you what, if that was the goal that we got here to break that deadlock that we have, it would have been very scrappy, and against all the form books, which has been the way that this game has played, has been brilliantly so far. Burton onside here, comes back to Vernon, looks for Manette, doesn't get underneath the ball, but failed to clear. Was Cartwright, and they get away with it there, the Tigers. Manette keeps it in. Back to Gilbane. There's no one really in there to aim at apart from Stewart. And the cross is taken comfortably by Norton. Moves upfield long. Manly make an absolute hash of it. Dominikovic is going to try and keep this in. It definitely took a touch, I thought. It did. They get underway quickly with the throw. Mortlock. Dominikovic was offside. You would have thought, can she get there to keep it in? No. It's too big. The flag probably would have gone up anyway. Shy of 10 minutes to go here. Neither side has been able to break the deadlock. Here's Mortlock. She's the most likely. Lovely work from Vernon. And they're going to play this on. Advantage was definitely not played. Dominikovic is onside. Tries to play through Johnson, but just lacked a little bit of clutch execution in the final third today, the captain. Here come the Tigers. Dominikovic into Mortlock. One-on-one here with Burton. Tries to go around her, but Burton covers really nicely. She's been solid since coming on. Manette just slipping over. Dominikovic has pinched this, now brings it forward, has a go herself, wasn't the option, falls kindly to her, brings it out to Mortlock. Mortlock now goes to the byline, gets it across, but Burton's in the way, and then Jackson clears out for a throw just. is out. It's nice work from Vernon. Can she find Manette? No, she can't. Murray hoists it downfield. Lovely touch from Johnson. Has Mortlock wide. Gets it to her. Dominikovic is in the box. Oh, lovely work again from the winger. Crossfield, and Simonson just has to punch it away. Zunla wins it back for the Tigers. An audacious shot from range from Cartwright is easily saved by Simonson. Long ball. Upfield will definitely go out for a throw. Manly pinch it back. Here's Vernon. Manette picks it up. Grass can't keep the ball though. Manette. Infield for Starner. Murray's there to deal with it. Oh, breaks kindly here for Starner, who's in on goal, but oh, the last touch lets her down. It just bobbled off her knee. And now Tigers go early. Up to Burton. Good header initially from Jackson. Dominikovic is trying to steal this. Will she get it off Burton? No. Great work from the fullback. An important touch. Now Zorden has a great run for Vernon. Doesn't use her. Can't get her feet sorted. And then eventually passes it, but makes it harder for the winger. That pass should have come way before. For Manly, the counter was well and truly on. Providing a pass, but she didn't look whatsoever. She's lucky that Starner didn't get on the end of it. Here's Keach. Moving to Mortlock. Nice work. Finds Bo Burton, has got time to go. Brings it forward. Tries to find the run of Mortlock. Gets it across field. Back to Burton! Oh, there it is! It had been coming for 40 minutes! And finally, the Northern Tigers get his, what you would call, a very deserved second goal and take the lead with just under 5 minutes to play here at Cromer Park. They've been huffing, they've been puffing, and they haven't been able to blow the doors down, but finally it's come via Bo Burton with her third goal of the season.
Goal to Northern Tigers.
After a double last week.
Manly United 1, Northern Tigers 2.
Manly just couldn't hold on, and now we'll have to try and dig deep to find the answer. Here comes Gilbane for Manly. Out to Stewart. They've run hard all day. Good ball into the path of Starner. Onside. Ball across. There's a few players in the likes of Patanis. Gilbane! Oh! Manly hit back! No! Less than 60 seconds after the Tigers take the lead. And it's Captain Fantastic with a beautifully struck volley. What a moment for this Manly women's side. They have been completely bashed in the second stanza of this round 6 matchup. But out of nothing have struck back with venom and furiosity to level the proceedings here. Then the Tigers do one of the worst kickoff routines I've seen in some time, which just oozes frustration. Boy, will they feel disappointed. They've done so well to find their way in front, only to concede immediately after going ahead. And now can one of these sides still pinch it here? Lovely roll. Could it be Manly? Vernon's looked really good since coming on. Tries to get it to Stewart. Stewart touches a bit heavy. Will keep it in. Still looking for an option. Back to Vernon. Lovely touch initially. Finds Manette. Back to Zorden. Takes a deflection. Could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for the Tigers, it's Murray's chest, and she clears. Now Dominikovic tries to break, but Phoebe Gilbane with a monstrous challenge. Here's Zorden now, looking for the answer, but can't go past Grass, who's also been fantastic today. Goes up the field to Johnson. She wants to try and find Dominikovic, or she wants to find someone in a black and white shirt. Eventually gets it to Mortlock. But the ball across is cut out by Stewart. And now Manette has the ball for Manly. And she finds a way through. Still going, but can't find the pass to Vernon. Dominikovic. Back to Grass. Looking for Burton. Mortlock wants the ball. The Tigers, have they got one last huff in them to get back in front? But Smeltzer steps across really well. Burton just has to clear and see it out of play as a sub now comes for the Tigers, a double change. Isla Witham,
substitution for the Northern Tigers,
the longest name in the National Women's Premier League competition, Julie Murphy Perez Texeria. Not exactly sure how the ground announcer pronounced that one. We'll have to get a double check on that one. Anthony Caruso.
And making their way from the field, number 10, Charlotte Mortlock.
Mortlock is off. She looks
and
tired.
18, Bo Burton.
And Bo Burton is off after just getting what surely Tigers fans thought was going to be the winner. Just a couple of minutes to play. There won't be many stoppages. The header flicked on by the substitution, Texeria. But Manly clear. Now can they potentially steal a late one there? Well, one back. Stana tripped, but not given the free kick. Now they come wide. Here's Witham. Tries to go around Burton. Still going here and will win the corner. So a last chance here for the Tigers. There will, of course, be some added time to come. Apparently at Cromer Park in this competition we don't get the fourth official board. I do find it strange because they do have it for the men's, but apparently they're not allowed to share. Here comes the corner. Cartwright takes, whipped in nicely. Plenty of players there, but takes a nick away from a attacking header. Manly survive another set piece. What a game this has been between two very good sides. Dominikovic up to Johnson. Dominikovic still going. Smeltzer's got some work to do. Does it brilliantly. Johnson still going. Can she get a second? Johnson has a go. Jackson, who's been really good since coming on, gets in the way. It's Cartwright now. Back to Murray. Can't get it past Stana. Stewart's pull forward is hopeful. Grass now into the path of Texeria. Loses it though. Well, one there by Gilbane. Grass has to be careful. Pull forward into Texeria, who just passes it to a ghost. And Manly will probably take their time with this goal kick. They will be very pleased with the point, considering the way the game has gone. And they still won late with Manette. Tries to play it into Stana, who will get this back. It's Manette still. Will this break kindly for a Manly player? Not on this occasion. They cleared away. I thought Johnson was offside. She let it go. Witham's back there to put the pressure on. Back pass was a little shady from Smeltzer. Simonson was aware. Hoisted long. Dominikovic trying to win the header. Drops kindly for a shot by Cartwright, but it would have required a lot of pizzazz to score there. Well, this has been deemed going out for a corner. Well, this is a huge call from the referee, Rutkowski. And Hannah Sheridan on the far touchline here. I felt for all money that was just a goal kick. And now with probably the final moment of the match, and we're guessing here obviously because we don't get the added time shown to us, for the Tigers to steal it here. Ball comes in from Cartwright. It's nicely weighted. Players are there. Back across the face of goal. Will it come to cross? Oh, and Gilbane's in the way. Back to Osner, and it goes out for a corner, but it won't be taken. And it'll end here with the spoils shared between two very good teams. Manly United equalising in the most dramatic fashion to send this game to the full-time whistle, 2 goals apiece. You would argue that Manly will take this as a win, their first real test, you must say, since the season started. And they've managed to survive it. The Northern Tigers will feel disappointed. They had plenty of chances to put Manly away in that second half. And they found the way via Bo Burton in the 85th minute. But only 60 seconds later, Phoebe Gilbane stepped up and made an immense contribution to end the game. 2 goals apiece. What a wonderful game to start off the Sunday evening fixtures in the NPL women's competition. If they're anything like we just saw, we are looking forward to a great weekend and particularly a great season. Look at the stats there, 22 shots from the Northern Tigers, 10 on target, only 9 for Manly. Controllers have been broken, ladies and gentlemen. That one there is something that every poor video game FIFA fan will know all too well. And the Northern Tigers are the ones who are on the receiving end of it today. They'll take at least some respite back up Mona Vale Road, knowing that they are certainly a side not to be messed with in 2025. And they themselves got away with 1 in the first half, as I mentioned previously. Full time here at Cromer Park. It's been a wonderful game to call for you. Manly 2, Northern Tigers 2. Have a great weekend.
Just a slight delay at the moment. We are just waiting for the final lineups to be confirmed by both teams. We'll have them to you as soon as possible. James Anglistopoulos. Number 7, Wu Sop Sim. Number 9, Damon Ray. Number 21, Nicholas Olsen. Number 24, Lachlan Scott. 25, number 25, Alex Massiavecchio. Number 29, Ben Justin. And number 77, Rafael Leai. And on the bench, number 4, Dylan King. Number 8, Sebastian Duarte. Number 11, Liam Moore. Number 13, Daniel Solsky. Number 15, Dax Kelly. And number 17, Marcus Beattie. And now, flyouts for your Manly FC. The tickets for the Crossbar Challenge are going to be located on a certain seats on the Eastern Grandstand running up to the north. So we've only got a select number of tickets available, so be on the lookout. If you happen to find them, make sure you head up to the Northway Walkway, turn into Chrome 1, 5 minutes fund with thanks to Community Bank Fresh Water. Metronics is one of the largest suppliers of office technology equipment in Australia and have just celebrated their 30th year in business. With 18 offices across Australia, they are able to cover everything you need for your place of business. From computer and peripherals to video conferencing and digital screen, Metronics will have you covered on all your IT needs and services. Find out more at www.metronics.com.au and get your IT enhancements done today with Metronics. Proud supporters of your Valley United FC. Welcome to the team down the field for NPL New South Wales men's, the Wollongong Wolves, and your Valley United FC. Ladies and gentlemen, we should make mention as well. The players escorting our two teams out here today, representatives from Coco FC. Please make them feel welcome as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. A very warm welcome to the final match of round 9 in the NPL New South Wales men's. A clash of north and south that always seems to bring goals and entertainment. Manly United hosting the Wollongong Wolves. Alex Molchanoff, delighted to be along with you for all the action on this Sunday evening on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are around the world. And well, questions for both sides coming into this one. A stoush that really could lay down a marker as to who's in the hunt for finals and who's stuck scrapping in mid-table as we approach the winter months. Manly celebrating Fan and Family Day today, which brings a big crowd of expectant support. A crowd that have seen a bit of Jekyll and Hyde, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde side so far at Cromer this season. Two big wins here, split by days when Patrick Vanswijk's side has struggled to hit the back of the net. They might fancy their search for goals to bear fruit today against an out-of-form Wolves side who travel here needing to arrest a slide in the form that sees them arriving here on the back of two straight losses. Has been a funny old start to the season for Wollongong, unbeaten through their first 6 games, but with just 2 wins across that stretch. So we wonder quite where Warren Greaves' expectations sit for his side in his first year in charge. A first win on the road would be a perfect pick-me-up ahead of a few winnable fixtures over the next month. Let's have a look at how they plan to take those points back down the highway with them. The teams look like this. Manly United, Vanswijk flipping the magnet somewhat again. 4 changes from the side that did pinch a late draw at Blacktown City last weekend. No spot in the squad for the goalscorer Max Pengelly, but the starting lineup looks like this. Levi Kay in goal behind a back 4 of Rocco Pella, Aaron O'Driscoll and Alan Aganovich the captain, with Matt O'Donoghue returning at left back. A midfield 3 of Jasper Chipman alongside Harry van der Sarg. Darcy Burgess back in as Bilal Belkadi makes way. Similarly for Farrah Coco, allowing Harry McCarthy to return on one flank, Lucas Meek on the other, with Tiger Kawanya replacing Ben Coop up front. Just the one change for Wollongong Wolves. They go to a back 4 with Jarson, Kanaizumi Bustal in front of Oliver Yates. A midfield 4 of Sim, Agnastolopoulos, Masio Vecchio and Olsen behind a front 3 of Liai, Scott and Damon Gray, who's the lone inclusion today. And it's Manly United kicking off from left to right. This Family and Community Day has brought plenty of spectators to the ground, but it's not brought them great results over the past few years. Had some devastating losses here on big days since the COVID pandemic. In fact, they're yet to win on Sunday afternoon at Cromer since that big break in the NPL New South Wales men's competition. Can they change that form today? A win would launch them back inside the top 6 for all the question marks and the ups and downs. They are still right well and truly in that race at the minute, as Harry McCarthy tries to announce his return to the starting side by firing an early shot in anger. Didn't take a touch on the way through. And Ollie Yates happy to see it wide of his post. An interesting little story. Starts at every game, hasn't missed a minute. The young Wolves goalkeeper. Brought back up to New South Wales from the Altona Magic in the NPL Victoria. Spent last season behind the goalkeeper coach, Vedran Janjetovic. He was first choice for them between the posts last year, but has re-entered retirement. Seeing the talent of the youngster behind him and thinking, hey, it might just be time for him to take over in first team football. And Yates has done a pretty admirable job behind a defence that, like Manly's attack, has been up and down. Mention all those draws they had early in the season, and really you could look at them either way. Took a point away at Apia Leichhardt on the opening day, then popped 2 late goals to drop 2 points against the Central Coast Mariners, who are embroiled in a relegation battle. Teams that seem to be playing to the level of their opposition through the opening couple of months of the season, and so this game really doesn't give us a solid storyline to dig into. Sort of sitting here expectant, knowing what both teams can produce on their day, but knowing we're just as likely not to get it as we are to see free-flowing attacking football from both. No doubt there will be a stage in the game today from both, where they are looking to press and play proactively. Just see how long that takes as Jasper Chipman gets right into his work with another youngster. 21-year-old James Axodonopoulos, who's come out of the Illawarra Premier League. He's actually part of the Wolves youth system and then dropped out of the club for a year, but his form in that very strong competition, one of the strongest association competitions up and down New South Wales. St. Millie Warringah host another one of those, but the Wolves midfielder is well and truly part of Warren Greaves' early season plans and has been one of the standouts for them through the centre of the park. Got some defending to do here as Burgess looks to flick it over the top. It's a return almost to the side that started here on the opening day. Tiger Kawanyo got the opening goal of the season this year, but has struggled to find a start since. Brought back in place of Ben Coops today. Good call as well for Ardo Donahue, who was used off the bench last weekend, returning to his junior club from some time away across some A-League men's academies. And Alan Aganovic just getting their lines mixed up a little there. First real chance to get forward for Wollongong this afternoon. Their setup is going to be another question. We saw the team sheets handed in. Damon Gray on inclusion today, usually a forward player. As it looks as though Greaves gone back to a back four. He's flicked on by Busnell. He's not the tallest centre half, but he's a solid build of a player. Olsen searching for the captain, Lachlan Scott, couldn't find him. The eye keeping the attack alive. Marcio Vecchio, it all unfolded a little too quickly for him. And Izumi stepping in, and now Pella to the Manly youngsters with Chipman, who's had such a tidy start to his first-grade career in his first 2 months of senior football. Lucas Meek, the American, getting a touch in off the Solomon Islands international Rafael Lee. Such a fine addition to this competition. A little bit more into his story. Of course, of the broadcast, it is one of the better ones around this competition. He's uttered a serious goal-scoring threat and a nice little foil for Lachlan Scott. Has to be physical and get the ball to his feet. The eye providing a bit more of a threat in behind, but starting wide on the left again today. Van der Sarg, another who's being closely tracked by the Manly United faithful. Been somewhat the barometer for his team, his performances in the early season. McCarthy's looking alive and alert in his return. A couple of weeks out with injury. Here's Burgess, and stated to the starting team again as well today. Good contribution in the second half after being brought on at the break against Blacktown City a week ago. Trying to find his way into the corner. Good change of passes with Meek, and now Rocco Pella can try and deliver for Kawanyo. And it's his fellow Japanese national, Henry Kanaizumi, is able to step across and make the clearance. Those two resume their battle, and again it's the Wolves centre half who wins out. Lovely switch of play from Lehigh. Space for Marcio Vecchio to run into. He's trying to sum up his options. He and Gray just on slightly different pages. Big day for the Manly United club, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. A ripping women's game that preceded this one. 2-2 draw and a local rivalry of sorts with the Northern Tigers.
Cars at the moment parked in an ambulance entrance.
Van der Sar with the switch and play for Lucas Meek. And he saw the leg out. Danny Horsted's our experienced referee today.
If you do not get back to your car in time, it may be towed. Owner of a white VWU, plate YLL97Y.
Shipment.
Second car in question, parked in an ambulance entrance. A white Nissan X-Trail, plate FOV95W.
That's fine goal scoring form to start the season. Lehigh goes himself. He's full of confidence as well, Raphael Lehigh. Mentioned about Olsen. Goal scoring form to start the season. 6 goals for him. Lehigh's got 3 in the opening couple of months.
Also parked in an ambulance entrance.
All over the top, and Lucas Meek has won the foot race. The deflection is off the post. Just enough, Ben Justin, to ensure that Oliver Yates wasn't beaten. The deflection might have wrong-footed him in any case. Well, it was all rather simple from Manly United. It unfolded from nothing. Just a long ball over the top, and Meek has showed how terrific he can be when he gets the chance to stretch his legs this season. Hasn't scored since the opening day when he got a brace against the Central Coast Mariners. He was inches away from adding to his Manly United tally there. Wolves have a resulting corner to defend now, with Donahue coming over from left full back to ensure it's an in-swinger, put some pressure on Yates, and he's, well, not done that with that cross. He's on the roof of the net. It's been a big day in this competition for the women's game that preceded this, and a reminder that full slate of NPL women's fixtures is underway across the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Don't want to flick off this game. Go to @NPL NSW over the course of the week. You'll be able to find all the highlights and match reports, round review of the women's fixtures there. Again, it's @NPL NSW across X and Instagram. You can also find us NPL New South Wales on Facebook. Well, the United fans will be hoping they can get there to watch some highlights of this attack as Darcy Burgess retains it. Van der Sar simply out wide for Meek. Thought about a cross, thought better of it. Burgess, who loves to operate in these little areas. Kawano. There's space for Chipman on the right. What a position he finds himself too often, the central midfielder. Wollongong struggling to get out of their own half at the minute. Chipman again, battling for it through the middle. It's been a physical start to this one. Danny Horsted's kept his whistle fairly quiet, letting them play. It's giving us a nice, open, entertaining start to this one. O'Donoghue has taken his position on the left-hand side. McCarthy. Burgess. Nothing you can say about Patrick Svansvik coach sides. Always a plan how they're going to hit teams, and this intricate build-up play around the edge of the area is obviously how they're looking to test the Wollongong Wolves this afternoon. Managed to absorb those couple of waves of attacks. Olsen for Scott. Those two have been the link up along with Lehigh that have borne so much fruit in an attacking sense for the Wolves in the early stages of this season. And Olsen doesn't mind a strike from distance. This time he goes to Scott. Gray might make it work. Brilliant save by Kay. Bails Manly United out. Don't know how much he knew about it, but he was well positioned and stayed big. Danger not averted yet. Kay comes to clean that up as Driscoll just helped Scott off the ball on his way down. Well, I said there'd be periods where both teams were trying to strut their stuff in an attacking sense. We've got plenty of that in the opening 12 minutes. Both goalkeepers put to work. Not quite been end-to-end stuff, but it's been a good level of football, and the tempo of the game's been brilliant. You're chasing this one down. A lot of running for lost causes. In his time with Manly United, that's where his goal on the opening day came from. Mistake for the Mariners playing out from the back. Still his only goal for Manly United to this point. Vecchio. Scott. Ganovich trying to turn his way out of trouble, and he was even better than that. Smart enough to play it off. Towards winger. Third season at the club, Alex Vecchio. He's in a couple of different roles. He's been used as a wing back this afternoon. Shipman, who has covered plenty of ground across the start of this game. Supportive high five by Lucas Meek. Let's say similar of him. Perfect conditions for football this afternoon on the northern beaches as the sun sets. Have switched back, so we will see artificial light take over the natural stuff into the second half of this game. Cool temperatures for the players though. If you don't like the conditions today as a footballer, you probably just don't like football. United giving Wollongong problems playing out through their press at the minute. O'Donoghue for Shipman, and now there's space for McCarthy in a shooting position. Second time he's fired away in the opening quarter of an hour. Both well gathered. The eyes tried to skip away from a couple, and Jasper Chipman's going to be right on the brink of a booking here. In fact, it is going to be a yellow card for the youngster. The eyes showing how quick and dynamic he can be in those tight areas. Skipping past one challenge, and really the only way to stop him there is going to be to bring him down. All at the height it was. It was turning into a promising attack, and so Horsted left without too much choice but to book Manly still teenager. You're still calling them that at 19, aren't you? To say, he doesn't play like a 19-year-old Jasper Chipman. He has terrific vision, a very cool head, and bookings he does pick up seem to be in those sort of situations, trying to give his team a way out. Lehigh just turned awkwardly there, slipping on the artificial turf, making his way back to his feet, thankfully. We've seen a few season-ending knee injuries. Commentator, you've just got your heart in your mouth a little when you see a player go down like that on the artificial turf. Slight tug of the shirt by Lockie Scott on Harry van der Sag there. Got away with that one, the Wolves captain. Now he's looking to compete for the clearance forward. He did manage to get there first, but Driscoll able to sweep up. Now Manly can work it wide for Meek. Better of the pass through to Burgess, and now it's opened up for Tiger Kawano here, and Manly United have opened the scoring. Beautiful bit of play. Laid on by Harry van der Sag, who picked his moment, and Tiger Kawano gets his second goal for Manly United, his first since the opening day. Just a pass into the corner. It was all so simple for Manly United. And on 17 minutes, they draw first blood. And the questions continue for the Wollongong Wolves backline. Have not had their finest couple of weeks. They've been hit early here. Not helped by the state of the game. Manly United have had all the possession, all the territory. And they've made it pay. What sort of response are we going to get from the visitors? This is a fixture that generally brings goals. They are buoyed by that opening goal as well, Manly United. Pressing straight from the kickoff. Been a while since the Wolves have won here in the league. About 3 years. They did win an Australian Cup tie back in 2023. And that was only on penalties. So they're looking to strike back immediately here. Marcio Vecchio searching for Damon Gray into the side for Marcus Beattie tonight. Here's Nick Olsen, who loves to line up from that sort of range, and Chipman was aware of the danger the former Brisbane Roar player offers in those sort of situations. A championship winning campaign in the A-League men's back in 2019. We've really seen of Sim, and he's managed to feed Olsen in return. 4 of his 6 goals have come from outside the area. He's a real shooting danger for defences. Fairly easily held by Levi K there. Been busy, but it's been fairly routine for him to this point. Van der Sar got the assist for the opener. Wanting that deeper lying roll again today. Lovely flick over the top from Meek. Things just seem to be rolling for Manly. The opening stages of this game. Everybody joining in on the fun. Meek for Burgess. This time Justin's across to make the block, but he has been busier, I'm sure, than Warren Grieve hoped in the early stages. 20 minutes gone. Tiger Kawanyo's opener. Separating the two teams.
Full time at Illinois Sports Club. Rockdale Illinois 1, Northwest Sydney Spirit 1.
Fella for Chipman. Lost hold of it as he was looking to turn, but O'Driscoll's won it back high. Wollongong struggling to string passes together. O'Driscoll again. It's a deflection on the cross that probably had a bit too much power on it anyway. This is where Manly United can get caught occasionally. It's Marcio Vecchio in transition. Where the Wolves love to go, and Scott was looking for an overlapping run that wasn't there. Interesting, despite their strong start to this game, Manly United, Patrick Zwanswijk's been very animated on the touchline. It's something you see all the time from him. Certainly happy to stand up and make a point, but been the more active of the two coaches in the technical areas at the minute. Chipman's had the better of that little battle with Nick Olsen in the opening quarter of the game. Pella playing himself into trouble. Sim did well. Olsen wrestling Burgess to the turf, and Manly United midfielder picks up a free kick.
Out of Sydney United Sports Club. Sydney United 2, RPL 1.
Ground announcer here in those early results. Rockdale Spirit FC drawing 1-1. Sydney United getting a 2-1 win over RPL Leichhardt. Yeah, up and down form continues, but all those results mean that if this stays as is, Manly United will jump quite a few. Be all the way back up into a tie for third with Rockdale and Blacktown City. Well and truly in the finals hunt. Here's McCarthy. Look bright. Burgess. With Donahue overlapping. Burgess takes it on himself and goes for goal. Easily fielded by Ollie Yates, but I don't think Warren Grieve will be too pleased with the way he decided, just allowing Manly to get in between the lines around the edge of their penalty area at the minute. Looking okay in attack, but yet to force Levi K into a meaningful piece of work. Anastopoulos. Lovely touch by Scott. His hold-up play is such a key feature, and Olsen, aware of that, was looking to run off him. It's still Lockie Scott, the Wolf skipper. Still he goes, looking for support. Not too many white shirts there, so just lays it off for Masio Vecchio. Can strike them from range as well. Caught too much of that one. Flies away towards the change rooms. At the northern end of Cromer Park. Alex Wozniak joining you on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel tonight. Hope your weekend has gone well. Couldn't have asked for better weather over the course of Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Let's hope this hangs around for a bit more of the competition before we get into the dark and dreary days of winter. Speaking of which, the Australia Cup got to have the NPL sides enter it this week. We had a round of fixtures played in Football New South Wales competition. The lower divisions will bring you more of that. McCarthy's off the shoulder. It could be two here, Manly. Olsen did well. And then it's off the line. In fact, Yates did well. Burgess on the rebound. Fires it onto the roof of the net. Yates did enough. And Harry McCarthy will be kicking himself. Almost had too much time on the far side. Undenied about the best course of action was. And credit to Ollie Yates, who made life very difficult for him. When he went to spread himself and go down, he stayed mobile. Speaking of mobile, here's Raphael Leai. Running power causing Manly United issues, and Aganovic reading the through ball from Masio Vecchio to clear the danger. And if you need any reminder of the threat the Solomon Islander offers, just saw a little glimpse of it there. Struggled to find a quicker player across the competition. Let the NPL New South Wales try the country. All the way up to the A-League men's. He is lightning. Yates, Olsen and Pella getting into a little wrestling match as that ball came down. He hasn't exactly been tidy in his distribution in the early stages. Now he's gone down holding a boot. His team continuing without him. Scott has Masio Vecchio overlapping. Lovely ball and a good save by Kay on the second attempt. Damon Gray turning up a big chance for Wollongong. Beautifully picked up by Masio Vecchio. And really, Kay's positioning was the only thing that kept that ball from going in. Other half of the net, and it was 1-1. Manly United's defence, which has been much lauded in the opening stages of the season, being opened up by the sheer weight of numbers that Wollongong have been throwing forwards. Burgess. And it's leaving them open at the back. This is going to be a terrific game if it continues in this vein for all 90 minutes. Meek lobbing it up towards McCarthy. Well cleared by Busnell. Only getting a second's breath in the commentary box, and now it really is stretching. Anastopoulos finds Scott, and now Olsen. Face to face with Pella. Poor really from Nick Olsen. More from him in that situation. Losing his footing. Burgess. How long can they keep up these this sort of tempo, the two sets of players. Van der Sar. Very tidy through the middle of the park. His midfield showing a bit more than it's been able to in the early stages of the season. And McCarthy's there again. Brilliant block. At the last second, Harry Busnell getting across. The intricate work on the edge of the area. Almost reaping reward for Manly United for a second time inside the opening half hour. Set pieces have not been a strength, but in an attacking sense, but Wollongong have copped a couple from these situations in the early season. But Donahue needs to be more precise. That one was better. Yates through a crowd of bodies. Van der Sar mis-hitting that ball. It made it a little bit awkward for Olsen, but his control is so good that he was able to dribble it out of danger. The eye probably not pulling out the back flick at the most advisable time, but he needs to make amends for that error. Winning the ball back. Wanyo, who is so energetic, a real headache for defenders when they are trying to play out. There's room for Scott through midfield again. Manly's defence struggling to decide whether to follow him into the middle of the park, and that's opening up space for the eye in behind him. Just slipping at the vital moment there. Maybe a helping touch from Rocco Pella, and Manly United building another attack. Burgess, only a couple to aim for. All the deflection has found Meek, and he's got a second for Manly United. It's all going the host's way in the opening half hour. The cross took a big deflection from Burgess, but it meant that it found its way right to the feet of the American, who said thank you very much and gobbled it up. Nothing Yates could do. And despite the Wolves' best efforts defensively, they've been caught on the hop. The open nature of the game suiting Manly United best. On those couple of chances the Wolves turned up over the last 5 minutes, but doubly so now.
A quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that if you are the recipient of a ticket for the crossbar challenge, please make sure
two players have been waiting to find the back of the net since the opening day.
Before half time.
Find it within 15 minutes of each other. And Patrick Farnsby has returned to his seat with a smile on his face. Why wouldn't he? Anastopoulos has been a bright spot for Wollongong throughout the opening half hour, but he's playing a lone hand in midfield. Really are being stretched in there. Van der Sar is showing us glimpses of his best form, and Lucas Meek is really looking at it, and he's going to make something of this as well. He's beaten Yates to the ball and hit the post. Is that the miss of the season from the man who just doubled Manly's advantage? It's taken the wind out of the Lucas Neal stand. He did all the hard work, Lucas Meek, and he holds his head to the heavens. He will not get a better chance than that all season, all of next season. My goodness. Well, this opening 30 minutes really has had it all. And Manly are going to hope that that miss doesn't come back to haunt them, just as Damon Grays did for Wollongong not 10 minutes ago. Well read by Pella. He really has been in sterling form since his return to the team after missing the first few weeks through injury. Locked down one of those fullback slots as his own towards the end of last season, the 21-year-old, and with skill like that you can see why. Burgess running into the brick wall that is Sim. And now Olsen's got room to straight into through midfield. Sloppy touch from Scott, but the attack just had some wind taken out of it. And well read by Chipman. Just intervening at the perfect moment. Meek. He's still thinking about the miss. He's still thinking about his goal. What a contrast in a minute or so. McCarthy nearly with a special bit of skill. Managed to sit down Busnell, but all got away from him as well. And the eyes in the wards. Seems to be getting cluttered into every time he touches it. He managed to find his skipper on this occasion. Shipman again intervening. Snuffing out the attack before it could get started. I've had a few youngsters, well, a few locals occupy that area of the field. Joe Fox is a nationalised Australian. Northern Beaches local. Still coaching down there, playing his football with Forrest Kalani. Before that, Finn Ashton is the man entrusted through the centre of the field. That run to the 2022 Grand Final alongside Dom Ferguson. Players who've come and gone, but they just seem to churn them out. And saw the ability of one Max Bengelli last week getting his name on the score sheet. They haven't needed him today, Manly United.
Substitution for the Wollongong Wolves.
First
making his way to the field is number 25
of the day.
Vecchio. And coming onto the field is number 17,
a tactical
Marcus
switch
Beattie.
because it doesn't appear to be an injury. It's a tough one for Alex Vecchio. Shaking a hand with Warren Greaves. I'm not sure if it was a plan change or something tactical. Maybe there is a little injury worry. I'm trying to find out what's been the case there. But Marcus Beattie slotting into his spot along the back line of the Wollongong Wolves. Another player who's been in and then out of the club. Next time, he's run again. His touch hasn't been trade in this time. Faces up Jarson and gets past him rather easily. Chipman. Van der Sarg. Interchanging passes with McCarthy. Two of Manly's ex-A-League stars combining. Another one in O'Donoghue. Van der Sarg, beautiful ball for Burgess. Can he finish it off? He rips it across the face of goal. Kalani hadn't taken the gamble at the front post. Even then, it was hit with such venom, it would have been difficult to turn home. Another poor turnover, playing out of their own half from Wollongong, and that's where they really are getting themselves into some serious issues. And Van der Sarg kindly turns it over for the first time tonight. Scott's good enough to do some damage to this. That's the commentator's curse. He turns it over. Anastopoulos. For the first time, really, since the opening 10 minutes or so, Wollongong able to put together a sustained spell of possession. Sim, that's where he wants the ball. They haven't been able to find him there too regularly to this point, the Korean. Bending it in behind for Darcy Burgess. Now Meek. Talk about Jekyll and Hyde's performances of Manly's attack through the opening 2 months of the season. Lucas Meek set a Jekyll and Hyde's 2 minutes. Getting Manly United's second goal and then managing to, well, miss the unmissable, I think is the only way to put it. Done the hard part, he'd beaten Yates. And faced with an empty net, he struck the post from about 4 yards. Manly not being hurt by that too much to this point. Still led in by 2-0. The goals from Kalani and Meek. Japanese and American nationals getting on the score sheet for the Northern Beaches side. Aganovich. Oh, it's Burgess doing the running, and he's even got the legs to beat Marcus Beattie. That's an awkward one for Yates, who read it well. Christopoulos. Just doesn't give it away, does he? Chased by Meek, who's need to do the dirty work up front as well. Perhaps that's what Van Wijk was looking for with the changes today. Guanyo, someone who will chase down things. Doesn't have the raw pace of Ben Coop, who's reverted to the bench today. Handy little tool to bring off the bench. Scott, plenty of space to turn, and now there's a chance to line up for Gray. Struck it with some venom as it sat up for him. O'Driscoll, the Irishman, getting his body in the way, and then Van der Sar turning out of trouble. Only happy just to build from the back. I mentioned Manly's record in his family community days on Sunday afternoons at Cromer over the past couple of seasons haven't been the best. I've made a very bright start here. Going to take a lead to the break, barring a near miracle. Wolves had a good spell between the two goals, probably should have had an equaliser. For some good goalkeeping from Levi Kay and some nondescript finishing from the visitors. Kanaizumi. Leai. Stolen a march on Pello. He's a good athlete himself and used his body to draw the foul. Just over 5 minutes until the break. Finally, the frantic pace of this game has just gone down a notch. He was so stretched in the only half hour. Something we're more accustomed to seeing in the New South Wales League One. Finished 2-1 last night between Northern Tigers and SD Raiders was of that vein. Reliably informed by League One reporter Justin Smith. Used to seeing frantic openings to games like that we've seen today. Had a little taste of it here in round 9 at the top tier of New South Wales football. Wollongong still pressing, trying to get one back before half-time. It would make all the difference in their chase. Pella. Burgess. Happy to keep it with Chipman and showing his footballing wisdom beyond his years. He's just happy to use the space as Wollongong Wolves press drops off. Van der Sar. Experience at A-League men's level. 61 appearances. Goal return wasn't too bad at that level either. Goal every 6 games. Played a lot of his time on the wings and in the back line. Might have a chance here. Burgess' ball has beaten everybody, but it has reached Harry Van der Sar. He's looking to turn and shoot. A couple of step overs that just held BT off. Launches it over the crossbar of Yates' net. This goalkeeper has been beaten twice. Not much he could have done about either of them. Defense sliced open. Guanyo lays a foot in on Usnell playing out of his own half. Maganovic. He's switched out to the right-hand side. He's just looking for a release. He's not going to get that from Rocco Pella, which is probably the highest praise you can give a fullback. Driscoll looking to feed, but Nick's said that he's done enough running. It's a thumb up in appreciation. Gone slightly different pages on that occasion. we mentioned as well, the Wolves' up and down form hasn't been helped by some of the injury problems. Darcy Madden still out. Ryan, who seen down here today, looking as though that facial fracture is slowly healing. Don't expect him to be too far away. Sebastian Hernandez, unfortunately, is going to be out for a little longer with his foot injury. Olsen darting between players. Oh, this is where he wants it. Nick Olsen getting it onto that stinging left foot of his. Get the strike down.
Anyone who has managed to pick up a ticket for the crossbar challenge, please make your way over to the.
Okay, happy to see that ball.
As the crossbar challenge will be happening at
fly over his crossbar. Over the course of the half, he's had some work to do. One very sharp save from Damon Gray. He was well positioned. Apart from that, it's been Manly's first half, largely led by this man, Lucas Meek, who's drawn another whistle from Danny Horsted. An inquiry about further discipline. A quick shake of the head indicated that was never going to be the case. If Manly could have a third before half-time, they suggested most of the way to putting this one to bed early on the Sunday night. And they've taken it quickly. Burgess has stolen a march on the defence, and Yates saves with his feet. Good piece of goalkeeping. Didn't go too early. Well, that patience, good awareness from the goalkeeper has maybe saved his team from copping a third, much in contrast to the stagnant nature of their defence. Clever set piece from Van der Sarg, which caught them napping. The danger's not clear yet.
There will be at least 1 minute of time added on.
Fourth official Travis Griffith telling us it's going to be just a single minute added on at the end of this first half. Paulin doesn't beat Olsen from the corner. McCarthy with a shooting chance, less favoured left foot and a little off balance. Points it over the crossbar. Onto the hill, on the southern end of Cromer Park. Wollongong, they're going to be chasing this game. Not chasing too many balls over that side of the pitch in the second half. Game that started as a no holds bar brawl in the metaphorical sense. Both teams throwing their best at one another in an attacking sense, has fizzled somewhat after Manly took a 2-0 lead. Lai trying to insert some life back into it with that strike, which was easily blocked by Ganovich, and then Danny Horsted playing half-time just as Sim put in a bit of a high foot on Harry Van der Sarg. He saved himself that decision. Wollongong have got some questions to answer. They trail by 2-0 for the second straight week at the break. Goals coming from Tiger Kawanyo and Lucas Meek, who might well have added a third just a minute later when he rounded Yates and struck the post from no more than 4 yards. I'll be hoping that doesn't come back to bite them. It doesn't look as though that's going to be the case at the moment. Manly United sitting pretty at half-time here at Cromer. The scoreline, Manly United 2, Wollongong Wolves 0.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, while we will not only have the crossbar challenge happening, but we will have the traditional small-sided game happening in front of the grandstand here from our mascots to the walkout. Our representatives, once again, tonight from Coco FC, so make sure you make them feel welcome as they come out onto the field. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about all set. for the crossbar challenge. Last bits and pieces just about going into place now. Okay, this is the halftime challenge. Thanks to Community Bank Freshwater. We've got a great prize. Bilal, no, you cannot take part, unfortunately. Should Billy be able to have a go? Or no? Well, maybe at the end he can have, if no one gets one. Or Farah as well, and Jay. And apparently there's 3 tickets out there somewhere as well, but we're going to start things. So, a bit like the one at halftime of the women's game, if no one gets it, everyone goes again. But if someone gets it, everyone gets a go, and if more than one get it, we go again to find out the winner, okay? Let's go. First one up. Oh, just a bit high. Go and get your ball if you could. You can, yep, you don't have to have your shoes on. Keep hold of your ticket. Keep hold of your tickets, go for it. Crossbar challenge. Close. Oh, hit the post. Here you go, bud. Let's go, let's go. Goal, but not the goal. Go. Go. Next one. Go. Oh, so close. Keep going, keep going. Watch out. Stand back, boys. Stand back. Let's go. Who went first? You went first? Yeah. Oh, bit of sledging as well going on. No need for that. I don't think your run-up's big enough. Give it a chance! Nearly. Is that all right, that ball? Can you hold on? Lefty. Oh. Close. I'll hold it for you. Oh, nearly. Oh, found one. Cool. You got a ball? Cover ball. Boys. Those balls. Hey. Oh! So close. Close. No. Winner. Knee slide winner. Come over here. So thanks to Community Bank Freshwater, there is a $250 bank account coming your way. How did you do that?
I just did chip shop, went in. Thank Jesus.
Who else do you play for, apart from the big fella up above?
Man United.
What age group?
Under 13s. We're winning the league this year.
That's good to know. That's good to know. You're paying for the after party as well. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to Community Bank Freshwater for putting up that great prize. Great supporters of Manly United. Enjoy the second half. Very much our Adam as well, and congratulations to the young lad who's just picked himself up a $250 Community Bank Freshwater account.
Get that little bank feel at Community Bank Freshwater.
With 20 years of experience and a team of locals, you can feel confident with your money being handled locally and backed by Australia's fifth largest bank, the only one able to make that grassroots connection. Meet Casey and the team at Community Bank Freshwater and find out how you can help the bank that supports you and supports your Manly United FC.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the match goes on here, why don't we give a quick round of applause as well to our representatives from the Manly United Football Association and Kilco FC playing out their short-sided game right in front of the Lucas Neal stand. Who knows, you might find your next football superstar playing out here right now. So thank you very much to the representatives from Kilco FC.
Gear up with Best Team Sport, the official apparel partner of your Manly United FC. Whether you're scoring goals, training hard, or cheering from the sidelines, look and feel your best in the latest range of performance team wear from Best Team Sport. Locally based, Australian owned, Best Team Sport offers ready-made stock and custom sportswear, accessories and club equipment for peak performance on and off the field. Best Team Sport is your one-stop professional football supplier. Elevate your game. Contact JK and the team at Best Team Sport, Unit 116 Aquatic Drive, Frenchs Forest, or shop online at www.bestteamsport.com.au and get kitted out today.
Welcome back to Cromer Park, the second half of the nightcap. Look at me getting emotional about it. About to get underway here between Manly United and the Wollongong Wolves. The hosts leading by 2-0, thanks to the man about to receive the football on halfway, Tiger Kawanyo, who got the opening goal in the opening 20 minutes before Lucas Meek chipped in with his first goal since the opening day as well. Missed a sitter a minute after, but it's a goal that'll be remembered at the moment, just as long as Manly United can hold on to this lead and get themselves back amongst the finals picture. That's where they'd sit, inside the top six, if things stay as they are. Both coaches have seen fit to keep things the way they were. We had Marcus Beattie brought on for Alex Marciovecchio during the first half, but that remains the only change as the hosts kick us off, pardon me, to begin the second half. Kicking from right to left on that screen in front of you. I won't say they were the dominant side in the first half, but they certainly had the better of open play. Wollongong had the opportunity to move the ball in periods. In fact, probably their best moments in the opening stanza came between the two Manly United goals. Dan Gray missed their best opportunity. It was well saved by Levi Kay and not been able to muster too much else. The hosts, in contrast, are doing it regularly. Lucas Meek just playing it out of the reach of Harry McCarthy, but another strong start from the hosts, who have set out as they mean to go on. There's some question marks surrounding them headed into the game tonight as we approach the middle third of the season, this long 30-game campaign we get now in the NPL New South Wales men's. Just only a few seasons ago, we'd be approaching the halfway mark already. In round 9, the old 12-team system. Have expanded to 16 a few seasons ago now. Lockie Scott's trying to drive his team back into this game, and he's done enough to nick the ball off Van der Sarg and Shipman. Hooked away by Akanovic. Down by Beattie rather than towards anyone in white. That's been the story of the game so far. Wollongong just second best in a lot of 50-50 moments like this one. And Kanazumi managing to recover. McCarthy almost nicking it off the blind side of Busnell. Plays it to Beattie to get himself out of trouble. Meek stepping in. Just looking so disciplined in the way that they've pressed Wollongong this evening, Manly. Structured attacks of their own. Been very, very promising performance for Patrick Svansvik. McCarthy stepping off, and Arnath Gobanath, the assistant on the far side, was just waiting to raise his flag until the Manly United number 10 got involved, which he eventually did. Former Central Coast Mariner. Holds that rare distinction, Harry McCarthy, of having scored in 2 League One grand finals for the Central Coast Mariners. This is a youngster during the COVID-affected campaign of 2020. Great grand final against the Northern Tigers, that one, and then a losing effort against St George City a few years later. He could be the only one to hold that distinction. Some sides embroiled in a relegation scrap at the moment. Fell 2-0 against St George FC, who are currently occupying that 6th position. This result holds Manly United will knock them out of there, but they've been growing as surprise packets in this competition. The form of Rockdale player by Antonio. It's been a fruitful switch across for him, as well as his club. Tiger Kawanyo, picked up from League One with Canterbury Bankstown a season ago. McCarthy leaving a little bit too much on Marcus Beattie, who sportingly helps him back to his feet. A few players who wouldn't take too kindly to an opposition player chasing them quite that hard another play. In fact, it was Matt O'Donoghue went over the sideline with his opposite fullback. '29-year-old BT's a familiar face for Wollongong Wolves fans. Missed last season, got back down to playing more Premier League football, but asked by Warren Grieve to rejoin the NPL setup. He's more than happy to oblige. Been a big part of their opening couple of months of the season, and all is played out to him here from Sim. NSW doing well to cut off the passing lanes. This seemed to be the case this season when Van der Sar plays well. Manly United seem to go with him. That has been the case tonight. Donovich, a rock of consistency and stability at the back. And a perfect partner in O'Driscoll. Got some defending to do here between them. Link up between Scott and now Nick Olsen. He's trying to turn the Irishman. He did brilliantly. What a pickup he's been. He's quickly established himself as one of the best central defenders in the league. Spot opened up by Jimmy Oates' move up to Newcastle a few years ago. Spot Manly United had not quite been able to fill until this season. Driscoll, Irishman out of Dublin, arrived on the Northern Beaches via stints at Manchester City in their academy, Christchurch, and then Altona in the NPL Victoria, where a nasty concussion saw him pulled out of the back end of last season. Such a brave player, but he's got plenty of technical ability as well, O'Driscoll. That's a lovely ball. Speaking of technical ability, Jasper Chipman has taken another step up. Certainly his stocks have risen again after his performance over the opening 50 minutes or so of this game. He and Van der Sar have been almost unplayable at the base of Manly's midfield. Van der Sar lobbing that one over the top for Meek, who didn't quite time his run. Another question for Warren Grieve is there another way for him to change this game? Bringing the bench shortly, hoping that Rafa Leai can have a say before the night is out. Manly United have not allowed him that space to get in behind. They've been sitting a little deeper than usual, I'd say. Gibbons had to come through Lockie Scott, and whilst he's shouldered that share of responsibility, really had frequent enough options around him to really give the United defence headaches. Bringing those subs that Warren Grieve has available to him tonight, young Seb Duarte. Dylan King is a more defensive-minded option. He already used, and then Dax Kelly is the other, so it's not exactly a bench full of depth of experience, certainly. Manly United, in contrast, Bilal Bukhari, Peter Kakaris, Ben Coop, all not veterans, but well versed in this competition at this stage in their careers. And then the youngsters, Ryan Devine and Farah Coco, available as well. Coco's impressed in flashes off the bench this season. Serve goalkeepers tonight, Jake Coates for Manly United and Daniel Solski. It's been the regular setup for both these squads over the course of the season. My name Alex Molchanov, taking you through the action here in round 9 of the Football New South Wales men's competition tonight. Right cap on what has been an interesting round of fixtures, not quite as high scoring as some over the opening couple of months, but just getting another narrative twist in a few storylines. Spirit FC retaining their spot on top of the table. Point enough to give them that honour this afternoon against Rockdale. Had to come from behind in that game as well. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Ali Kurasevsky and Iwakubo, the goal scorers there. McCarthy's trying to add his name to the score sheet here. Can he roll Beattie or use someone off him? It's Van der Sar curling it perfectly. Pinpoint stuff from Manly's talisman. He's been the heartbeat from midfield and he's added a goal for good measure. The night getting better and better for the hosts. And this healthy crowd that's gathered around Cromer Park tonight. They've been treated to some special football, and that was the pick of the goals. Ball that spun and hissed its way past Oliver Yates, stretching every sinew, and still couldn't tip it wide. Spectacular stuff. It's his third goal. He's the top scorer for them this season now, Harry van der Sar.
Making his way to the field is number 9, Damon Gray. And coming onto the field is number 11, Liam Ball.
Liam Ball, what I neglected to mention. Setting up that Wollongong Wolves starting lineup. He's had a couple of appearances off the bench already this season. A bit of youthful exuberance, but I think Wollongong are going to need a bit more than just that to climb the Everest that's sitting in front of them in terms of the size of the task if they're to turn this game around now. Olsen always willing as he got someone inside him. O'Driscoll saw it all the way and Kay was there to gobble it up. And to think it really could be worse for Wollongong. Lucas Meek taking the very presentable opportunity he created for himself just after adding Manly's second. They've had a habit of doing this, Manly United. When they get on a roll, teams don't seem to have a response. Small Wolves travelling contingent here have really not had much to cheer about. And Lucas Meek has got in behind again. Fires into the side netting. On another night, he'd have a hat-trick, the American. Beating Jason to the ball. And rather frittering away the opportunity. In the end, not able to force a save from Yates when presented with him one-on-one. Disappointment for Damon Gray, who I feel he could have had an equaliser in the first half, but his night is over. And teammate Liam Ball, his replacement. Question now is whether Wollongong can muster anything in this final half hour. Give them some bit of solace. Staring down the barrel of 3 straight losses after that 6-game unbeaten run to start the season. It's all gone pear-shaped very, very quickly. Burgess. Back up here in the week, mentioned the Australia Cup, didn't actually get to the draw in the first half because of the frantic nature of the game. Back up here to take on Renwick City on Wednesday night out at Chifley. Donohue's got the beating of Beattie, and it's fallen for McCarthy. Goes right to the byline and sticks it in for Burgess. It doesn't get any easier for Manly United. Harry McCarthy had all the time in the world to pick out a cross, and Burgess nods it home. He's got his third in Manly United colours, enjoying life at his new club, and Manly are gearing up for another 5-0 thumping. Wollongong's defence all at sea, and the body language of the players suggests they're going to be hard-pressed to find a response here. United running riot. And Patrick Svansvik is just going to perhaps add to the pain of the visitors by turning to his bench with Ben Coop and Farah Coco. This is quickly turning into a field day. Not what we expected. This has been a fixture that has brought tight, tense contests to us every time it's been played over the last few years. Will they perhaps hit back here? Lockie Scott chasing a ball that was overhit for him. Wide ball. Much as they did against the Central Coast Mariners on the opening day, much as they did against Mount Druitt Town Rangers here a couple of weeks ago. Manly just streaking away from their opposition, but the Wolves have come up with a small measure of response. Raphael Lei cutting inside and felled by Chipman. Not far from the perfect spot either. For Wunsub Sim, haven't seen too much of the centre of the Wolves midfield. Bolton will fancy his chances from this range as well. A few gorgeous free kicks across the competition. Past couple of weeks, it's a gigantic wall for Levi K with O'Driscoll and Aganovich, the pillars in the middle of it. 5 in there. Will it be Olsen or Sim? It's Olsen who moves first and thumps it into Burgess. Doesn't catch the ricochet either. It was a clever touch from Ball. He might have safety side a throw. No. Danny Orsted says it's Manly's. If they were having any less luck tonight, they'd be having none at all. The Wollongong Wolves. I'll tell you what, it's looking like a quintet of substitutes for Patrick Zwanswijk. He might be able to empty the holster in one go. They're watching on as Lucas Meek streams forward. There was contact between he and Jason, and after a good hard look, Danny Orsted says free kick. A couple of things to consider here for the officials. Was the contact continuing into the penalty area? Don't think that was the case. And the card is red. The night is going from bad to worse. That was the second question. And Wollongong have been reduced. Another player as Ben Jarson gets his marching orders. The 21-year-old caught on the wrong sides of Lucas Meek, whose running power has caused all sorts of headaches. And if there was any slither of hope left in this game for Wollongong, it has just disappeared up the tunnel with Ben Jarson. This game is quickly turning into a nightmare on Sunday night. Shake of the head from Nick Olsen, who's over taking on some water. It's not been for his lack of effort. Manly United have taken their advantage and run with it all the way. So 4-0 down and a player less for Manly United to attack against now. Van der Sarg over the resulting free kick, and they're going to be made to pay in full here, are they? Next header deflected. Kawano back for Van der Sarg. And Burgess just misjudging the flight of the ball, mistiming his jump. Certainly not as good as the header, which put Manly 4-0 up. We mentioned that all 5 substitutes were being readied. Why not? Patrick Zwanswijk empties his arsenal in one go. So here we go. All 5 outfield players, so that's Belcardi, Kakaris, Devine, Coco and Coop. Justin Chipman comes off after a fine evening. He and Van der Sarg at the heart of midfield. Spectacular. Harry McCarthy, second taken off. Provided the assist for the 4th goal. Tiger Kawano getting his first goal since the opening day. That got it all started here tonight. Darcy Burgess getting his 3rd goal for his new club as well. He makes his way from the field.
Making his way for the field, number 12, Roccopella.
And Roccopella,
number 16, Ryan
who
Devine.
has well and truly reintroduced himself. And so, a fresh face for those tired and stretched defenders. Now for the Wollongong Wolves. Manly have been building their goal difference with these wins at home. Sense another opportunity here. Ben Giassen sent off for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity to Lucas Meek, who is still out there. Probably the only striker that is still on the field. And Lachlan Scott turned the tide against the new faces. Stolopoulos did well, and it's a very good save. The rebound is stuck into the side netting by Leai. Lockie Scott might have been able to get some sort of consolation. Good piece of goalkeeping from Manly United's number one, Levi Kay. I tell you what, there's not been a bad player out there for the hosts tonight. Including the young goalkeeper, Fulham young goalkeeper, Levi Kay. He's 24 now. Moving away from that moniker. Another one across this Manly United squad who spent some time in State League academies before returning to the place where he grew up playing his football. Lobbed over the top. Leai trying to show us his pace. Devine with defending to do. Leai squares it up beautifully. And Stopoulos fires it over the top. Chance for his first Wollongong Wolves goal goes begging. Well, there is a response, a chance to plot some youngsters here for Warren Grieve. Seth Duarte is going to be the first of those. Sim. That's his evening ended.
Substitutions for the Wollongong Wolves.
Heavily strapped, and
Making
Raphael
way for the field,
Leai
number 77, Raphael
showed his talent in
and coming on for the number 8, Sebastian Duarte. The other substitution is number 7,
frustration in that sort of night for Wollongong. And Warren Grieve over to offer a hand of condolence to both these substituted players. Replacements, I mentioned Seth Duarte is on, as well as Dylan King. Getting an early look at him in his senior career tonight. Tell you what, the tests don't get much bigger. Duarte looks as though he's moved into the left fullback position. And that's King being utilised a little higher up as right winger.
Crystal, doing this for Sue all day. I've already racked up 15 case.
Olsen. Well, that's it. He's got no one ahead of him. Even Scott is sort of in line rather than in front. So Olsen might go himself. Deflects up off one or two Manly United bodies. And an easy gather for Levi Kay. Richard Wollongong Wolves have got that trip back up to Sydney again in midweek to take on Randwick City. And Chifley on Wednesday night. Manly United don't have to go anywhere. That's a team from down Wollongong way as well. Milton Mulladulla making their way up to the Northern Beaches. Bit of a a warning sign for them. The fact that Manly have managed to find this sort of form. That's the NPL side from that area. Teams drawing association clubs in the first round of the Australia Cup. Rockdale Illington hosting St George City. It's one of the two all NPL Cup ties in round 4. Coco stretching for that. Couldn't pinch it off him. Scott turning, and Olsen's got a chance to try and bend one behind. Aganovic made the clearing header. And there's 2 appeals for handball. Danny Horsted had a very good view. There was a little bit of guiltiness from Ryan Devine. The way the arm was stuck behind his back. Well, I think it sat there initially, in any case. Anastopoulos, shining light amongst the midfield that has been overrun at times tonight. Beautiful vision to pick out Duarte. And then a good recovering header from Devine to find his goalkeeper. Sure, the attack didn't progress any further. It's a big win for Manly United. We mentioned how many home games they played. Still in the 2 away fixtures in their opening 9. Got a slate of away games to come, so as many points as they can pick up as home will be important as Van der Sark strikes through a crowd. Right, full for Farakoko. Van der Sark trying to take up the attack again, and it's dribbled clear by Busnell. And Devine. It's almost looking like park football at the moment, the way Manly United are just toying with some of the Wolves' defence. Kikaris, and he knows one way, that's direct. Suits Marcus Beattie, who at 29 is still full of plenty of pace. Kikaris and Devine resuming their battle. Harris and Beattie, I should say. Belcardi. Sark sneaking up on the blind. Oh, in fact, it was Coop sneaking up on the blind side. Free kick goes Wollongong's way. Scott looking to get it moving, but Olsen was the only player ahead of him. And I think he's asking the question of his captain why he tried. It's all worked out okay because Devine's been dispossessed. Ganovic with the interception. Anastopoulos not quite timing his pass across and steaming forward, and the other way come Manly United. O'Donoghue trying to make headwind through the middle of the pitch. Well, there's all sorts of space with those 10 Wollongong players somewhat stretched. Kikaris loves games like these. Rolls it for Coop. Then Coco. Oh, and it's beaten the goalkeeper. It's 5 again at home for Manly United for a 3rd time this season. Muted celebrations given the state of the game, but the free scoring fun almost seems to be a flip of the coin as to whether he'll get it at Cromer Park this season. But they've been good value tonight. And Farakoko chips in with a goal of his own, his 3rd for the club. It's been a sea of threes for the scorers.
Manly United 5, Wollongong Wolves 0.
But they are another fantastic 5 for Manly United. Now it will just be about building that goal difference, I think, for the hosts. If they can do so against an opposition that are out of the game and out of players, really. Lachlan Scott, have to give him so much credit. He's still putting in as though it's 0-0 heading into the closing stages. Earning that captain's armband. The youngsters around him, that's his sort of attitude he wants to show. Ball getting involved, and Scott might get his goal here. I'll tell you what, Levi Kay's had a pretty good night for a goalkeeper whose side is leading by 5-0. Olsen hoists the ball back into the box. Only half clear by Manly. Beattie for ball again. Terrific name for a footballer, isn't it? And Scott has brought his side a free kick right on the edge of the area. Shout of frustration from O'Driscoll, who's trying to keep those high standards going. Wollongong have taken it quickly, and it's another save from Kay, blocking at his near post. And Kay has got an earful to give his defenders. As the protection has been eased a little in front of him. A couple of saves he's had to make in the space of 60 seconds. Wolves keen on getting a consolation, not letting Manly just run away with this game. Manly with their goal difference well and truly up into third place at the end of tonight, and that is the biggest success, I'll get it out eventually, that can come from this evening. Context around the performance, but 5 goals is 5 goals whenever you get it. Devine is streaming away from Marcus Beattie, looking to feed Coop. Tidier piece of goalkeeping this time from Ollie Yates. Scott. I'll tell you what, you'd be best advised not to turn this off, just looking at the state of the game and the result, because we're going to get some free-flowing football in the final few minutes. I'd be very surprised if the goal scoring is done tonight. Coop runs for that ball, but it was fairly clearly offside. Only players will be trying to add their names to the score sheet. So the same of Wollongong players. Nice little stat to add. Olsen. Twisting and turning, but just picked off by Van der Sar. But he does have nights like this. He just looks a different class, doesn't he? And he's fitting Kakaris here. Plenty of pace. Has the cross. Izumi cutting in front of Coco. Van der Sar's looking for another, but some tired legs there. Manly's got through plenty of work. He's not going to get any reprieve because Manly United are out of subs. For him to see out the 90 minutes now. The cup fixtures for these teams in the next week. Manly United travelling away to the Western Sydney Wanderers. They managed to win away last year, but were beaten at this ground on this night, funnily enough, the Club and Community Day, by 5-0. This exact result. In the opposite direction. And it's Apia who are the next visitors here. Sydney Olympic away and Marconi. And that really will be the test over the months to the end of April, beginning of May. Sitting in third place, Manly United, and they can be happy with that. But the draw has been kind to them in the early season. There's an acknowledgement of that around the club as well. The standard is still going to have to lift a little if they're to really find themselves amongst the contenders. And they have been able to find the back of the net. The goals have come in flurries. In the case again tonight. As for Wollongong, we teased that tougher test that's coming for them in May. Still a couple of games they'll think are winnable over the next couple of weekends. Sutherland Sharks coming to visit Macedonia Park next Sunday before a trip back to the Illington Sports Centre to take on relegation threatened Sydney FC. And Spirit and Marconi are waiting at the beginning of May for them. Those two taking each other on in a top of the table clash next weekend. Only 2 unbeaten teams left in the competition. As Meek finds his way through and was inches away from a 6th for Manly United. Lucas Meek must be wondering what might have been for him tonight. Got the second goal. Missed it. Well, really as easy an opportunity as you'll get in a competition like this. And then there's a couple of other chances in the second half. Not as straightforward as the one that fell his way in the first. But the hat-trick was there for the taking for the American tonight. He knows that. Been a fine performance in any case. He's running through the red card to Ben Giassen, so there's been plenty of good amongst the mediocre. His running power is something that a lot of fullbacks are going to struggle to keep up with across the entirety of the season. Van der Sar just toying with BT. It was almost a little too casual, and Coco concedes the free kick. Magnostopoulos for Scott. Oh, and then a very heavy challenge from Lockie Scott, one that looked born of frustration. Lucas Meeks quickly on his way to becoming one of the most fouled players in the competition. Just ticks that stat up a little. And the United technical staff on the edge of the area trying to drive their standards for their team. That's really what this last 10 minutes is about now. Being very comfortable in possession. Donahue is flipped out to the right and has played a beautiful ball for Ben Coop. They're lining up Manly, and it's a good save from Yates. Coop probably should have done better, particularly given Bilal Belkadi was completely unmarked, but he has that 9 on his back, Benny Coop. He wants the goal. O'Donoghue perhaps denied an assist. Meganovic for Peter Kikaris on the left flank. Lovely little drop of the shoulder. Darts past one. Just ran straight into Busnell. Have to do a bit better than that to beat the Wolves centre half. Not too easy to get around Harrison Busnell. They haven't really done that tonight, Manly United. They've got around them. A lot of wing play that has brought the goals, in addition to a beautiful curled effort from the edge of the area. Harry van der Sar that started the scoring in the second half. Made it 3-0. Goals to Lucas Meek and Tiger Kawanyo in the first half. It's a deja vu for the Manly United fans around Premier Park tonight. Emulating those earlier performances against the Central Coast Mariners, and Mount Druitt might be about to make the margin bigger. It's Meek. It's Coop. Oh, it's spectacular. Turning on the party tricks. Meek's cross for Coop. Finished off audaciously, arrogantly. And it is a 6th for the hosts. It seemed only a matter of time. You could see the blue shirts queuing up. And Yates, who probably felt he could have done better for the 5th. He couldn't have done anything about that. And that's one that'll get him on the highlights reels over the course of the week. Benny Coop makes his impact off the bench. He always seems to, particularly in games like this. Just his 2nd of the year. That's one he'll take some joy in watching back, I have no doubt. As will the Manly United players. That truly is a lost cause now for Wollongong. There was nothing about the form book that suggested this. I say that despite those 2 thumping victories Manly United have had here already this season. Chance for Duarte to cross. Easily gathered by Kate. Meek. And Coop's going to try and run off the shoulder of Busnell. He knows he's got the advantage in that little race. And he's just going to knock it around him. Good recovery from Busnell. Clearance from Yates, not controlled by ball, at least initially. A scrap with O'Donoghue, who read it better. He's going to dart back to the centre of the field on that left foot. He's just pulled up, though. That doesn't look good. It's a sore one. Going on for now. Kikaris spinning it for Devine. Getting away by Busnell. Kikaris will get a shot away here. Dipped in front of Yates, who fielded it well. I don't think O'Donoghue is going to be able to continue here. That looked, whether it was just cramp that got him as he looked to burst away again. Not entirely sure. it might be 10 v 10 very shortly. I'm sure the Manly United coaching staff, given the state of the game, won't want him to continue if there's any sort of question about his fitness. And considering their opposition had already been reduced to 10. Been a nightmare of an evening for Wollongong here tonight. We'll be able to scrub it off as just one result, but more worrying trends is the fact that they're now 3 losses on the bounce. Even more worryingly, they've only won that single fixture against a fellow senior side this year, against the Western Sydney Wanderers, but the only other victories come against St George City. Their away form is starting to turn into a bit of an issue for a team that were very strong away from home last season. It's not always been something associated with that club, or this club. Haven't won away this season, haven't won away in their last 5. That's a run they don't want to extend any longer. Hoping to snap it when they travel to the Ellenden Sports Centre in a couple of weekends' time to take on Sydney FC. Agnostopoulos. Scott looking to feed Olsen, but even there, little combination is just not quite as tidy tonight. Houston bundles Kikaris over. Stronger than him in the shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Devine sliding at the feet. Kikaris trying to make amends, but Houston strong enough to hold him off, and then Van der Sar just picking the ball off in the middle of the field. He's playing at a different pace to everybody else at the minute. Coco. Kikaris. Cut off play. Agnostopoulos again. Devine switching the angle of attack. Judged it nicely for Meek. Face to face with Duarte. Couple of step overs from the American. Golcardi might want to add his name to the score sheet. Had it pinched from behind him. Coco. Wrestled away by young Ryan. Or young King, I should say. That's tidier from Wollongong. Playing out of their own half, all turning it over though. And then just leaving a foot in on Ryan Devine. Free kick blown by Tony Orsted, whose night has been fairly simple. The big decision, the red card, was fairly clear once they'd established that it hadn't continued into the penalty area. I'll tell you what, Wollongong might just have preferred that to what has unfolded in the last half hour. Kikaris using an arm to control, so the free kick goes the visitors' way. Scott. The Manly United fans that remain waiting to give their side a well-earned round of applause at the conclusion of the night. Maybe head over to the far side for the far post, I should say, for a refreshment afterwards. 20's game to follow this, so still more football for those who really do love it on a Sunday evening. The United's 20s are going pretty well as well. They're in the chase for a premiership with the Western Sydney Wanderers at the minute. Their senior team aren't too far behind. Janovic for Devine. Also tugging his shirt. Both players had hold of one another, so the referee say we'll play on. And now the whistle goes. Vines look tidy again. It's been a game that has suited his team. Into the time he came on. Holding the big leads and having the player advantage. All played out to O'Donoghue. O'Driscoll. The double O's on the right-hand side of Manly United's defence as Wales just try to wind down the clock. Got one better than their almost routine 5 here at home. Grabbing the 6 tonight. Coop's looking for 7 here. Just putting too much on the ball in. Well, Bolcardi getting as far forward as we ever seen him tonight. He's sensing a chance for a goal perhaps. Tried to take part in the half-time crossbar challenge that was being put on with some prizes.
There will be at least 3 minutes of time added on.
3 minutes of time added on, which, as a goal scored, will quickly be consigned to history. Kikeris. Van der Sar might be able to get that. Bolcardi stretching to control and losing his balance. Can Nick Olsen grab a consolation here for Wollongong? He's been full of running. It's he and Scott. Who else? He's looking for the return. O'Driscoll got something on it. He's battling his way through. Still Lachlan Scott, and Levi Kay denies him again. Must be wondering what he has to do, the captain. He's been so dogged in his determination tonight. Just not fallen his way. As with all games that blow out in a result like this, a couple of turning points that could have changed it all for Wollongong. Back to Damon Gray's sharp chance in the first half when the scoreline was still 1-0 to Manly United. Wonder how much that would have changed things. It was the Wolves' best period of the match, the 10 minutes between Manly's 2 goals. Well, they have killed it off since then. They've been unrelenting tonight, Manly United. Certainly for the first hour they were. Last half hour they've earned the right to enjoy. One of the easier nights at the office for Driscoll and Oganovic, in a sense that they haven't had the pressure to play around them, but the fact of the matter is that Wollongong have still put together some decent attacks. Levi Kay has been one of the busiest goalkeepers in a 6-0 victory for his team that I can remember. Scoreline has not told the entire story tonight, and the red card to Ben Jarson has just furthered the narrative way against Wollongong. That's not reflective, I don't think, of the gap between these two teams. That's not to say Manly United haven't been the better. They have, well and truly. 6-0 has come with a fair bit of luck that's fallen their way tonight. Along with some fabulous attacking performances, led certainly by this man, Harry van der Sar. Kikeris trying to get in on the act. Devine's been a willing runner since coming on. There was contact between he and Busnell. Only half-hearted shouts for a free kick. Nothing that will be written in the history books. The damage was done early by Manly United. A 2-0 lead going into the break, thanks to goals from Tiger Kawano and Lucas Meek. Then after the break, Harry van der Sar's curling effort really put it out of reach of Wollongong. Ben Jarson's red card made things worse. And Manly tacked on another 3 after that with the help of some strong attacking substitutions. The scoreline not the entirety of the story, but certainly indicative of a host club who came to play and were far better than their visitors. And so they finished the round in 3rd place and well and truly in the hunt for silverware in 2025 as we edge towards a third of the season being done and dusted. It's been a pleasure to bring you this one on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Alex Molchanov signing off from Cromer Park, where it's finished Manly United 6, Wollongong Wolves nil.
And the Wollongong Wolves, and they are as follows. For the Wollongong Wolves, number 2, Ryan Lowe. Number 5, Dax Kelly. Number 6, Sebastian Durate. Number 8, Liam Ball. Number 10, Lucas Chajewski. Number 11, Kalani Villa. Number 13, Cooper Schofield. Number 14, Jack McCluskey. Number 15, Dylan King. Number 17, Anton Redis Jones. And number 19, Max Kunial. And on the bench, number 3, Noah Eason. Number 4, Alessio Kenzie. Number 7, Tyler King. Number 9, Willem Robaid. And number 12, Jacob Eason. And now, the layouts for your Manly United FC. Number 15, Max Pengelly. Number 20, Hamish Purdy. Number 21, Anthony Coyotes. Number 22, Lachlan Bishop. Number 24, Toby Beckwell. Number 25, Kai Evans. Number 27, Max Walker. Number 27, Will Folder. Number 29, I should say, Will Folder. Number 36, Lewis Morcella. Number 37, Calum Marshall-Witt. And number 38, Mitch Seaman. And on the